Welcome back to another episode de Todos Toman Podcast. Muchachos, es Thirsty Thursday.
Thirsty.
Sí,
Y sí que,
Thirsty and it's
Sedientos, ¿no?
Thursday, dude.
y sí que tengo thirsty. Dude. Y sí que
Sí
es
que
Thursday
tengo,
también,
sí que tengo thirsty.
la verdad.
No se pudo hacer el miércoles. Usually we do the Wednesday live que se llama Barra Libre. I was like, what do we call it? Barra Libre on Wednesday live. Pero Thursday, I think it's if it's in, ya que hicimos the first episode of the year. We did a live on a Wednesday, Barra Libre. So why not close out January with a Thursday?
I agree.
Aquí estamos the usual suspects: Tank, Johnny Boy, y Miguel is blinking in and out, como que quiere entrar y como que no. So ahí anda
como que he's
arreglando
always
sus
having
technical
trouble, ¿no?
difficulties.
Sí.
Pues ya sabes, es synonym
normal,
to
normal.
todos tomando.
Yeah, at this point.
Pero pues aquí estamos.
Mhm.
Míralo, ahí como que quiere entrar el Miguelón. Ahí está, míralo.
Welcome, Miguel.
¿Nos escuchas, Miguel?
Oh,
Míralo.
nice, dude.
Bien.
Hell yeah, dude.
Pues ya estamos aquí, muchachos. How you doing? ¿Qué están tomando? ¿Cómo se kick us off?
Miguel.
Dude,
Coming in
pues,
hot.
el mismo whisky que le he tomado, Breckenridge. Yeah, Breckenridge. Colorado whiskey. All the cups were like no thing there, and I was trying to rush. I was like, all right, so I'll be drinking out of
Desde la botella, ¿no? Oh.
Oh, hell,
Imagine.
dude. There's
En
way
tus manos
too much,
así,
dude.
¿no?
Okay, I should have known that's the whiskey you wanted to try, and I could have bought it for you, dude. My bad.
Y
Pero
¿cómo
va,
te está
va,
diciendo? Al final le
look.
gusta el...
For Johnny Boy, dude. Mira.
Es que así se debe de hacer, dude. Así se debe de hacer.
Oil.
Hopefully other people learn from that, dude.
Oh boy, they're not gonna learn, dude. I'm just telling you right now, dude.
Mira, yo a Tanque le regalé unos vasitos bien perrones, dude, para que podamos ver lo que tiene su contenido. pero-
A ver.
Oh, shit. But he has them right now, dude. Don't worry about it. Dale.
I do not think porque I'm actually keeping it un poquito classy, dude. Actually got some Moscato, dude, today. Representing Winking Owl, dude, from Aldi. And representing porque they did not roll back their diversity and inclusion program. So, gotta support, dude.
Oh, we gotta get
Por
into
Aldi,
that.
¿va?
Gotta support, dude, for sure. Pues ya me toca a mí, muchachos. As you guys know, I'm boring as fuck. I am trying a new beer, which I tried yesterday, no? Este se llama Agua Santa. It is a Mexican lager. And that's actually the brewery se llama Agua Santa. This beer se llama Flavor Without Sacrifice, and they have it in Spanish, Sabor Sin Sacrificio. So it's cool. I like the artwork behind it. It's pretty nice.
Oh, nice. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
I like
beautiful.
donde dice Agua Santa, like it's big
Yeah.
and bold. And,
Yeah. I like that too. It's pretty
pero el
out there.
penacho también está chido.
Yeah, and then if you on top dice Flavor Without Sacrifice, y atrás
Ooh.
Sabor Sin Sacrificio with that little artwork. It's pretty nice. Dude.
That looks fucking dope, dude.
Yeah,
I want a few of them, dude, just to put them in the. A no tomármelas, dude, pero para ponerlas.
Unas para tomármela, sí.
No,
Quiero
no.
probarla.
No lie, dude. I this would look nice just as a collection, just like
Yeah,
you know,
that's
if you're
what
into that. If you're into that,
obviously. Oh, absolutely, dude.
if you're into that.
I'm definitely into all that Mexican stuff, dude.
Yeah, I figured you guys will like it, the artwork y todo. So,
Hell yeah, dude. I me mandas una 6, dude.
got you. Bueno, so 6 creo que son las que tengo, dude. So maybe not this time. Next time.
Next time.
Dude, a funny story before we get to Romero. We have this new liquor store here. I don't know if you guys have it over there. Se llama Total Wine. It's kind of like
It's an online thing, no?
a what?
No, it's a West Coast thing. Like
But like
por allá sí hay muchos solo wines.
So there's one that literally just opened a couple miles away, maybe like 5 minutes away, and it's next to a Bepmo, which is also part like a liquor store and all that stuff.
It's like what we would compare to a Benny's here.
Benny's, So my girl gets the Facebook post, open now in Redlands and blah blah blah. Come visit us and blah blah blah. And in the bottom, they're promoting beers that they have. Tell me why she shows me a Spotted Cow thing.
Oh, shit.
no,
And I
it's
was like, Spotted Cow, no way. So first thing I do is like,
Así
fuck,
que
I'm gonna go
en mi
today.
sangre llevo esa
Sí, dude.
cerveza.
Sí,
Para que sepa que sí ando en Wisconsin. And so I decide to go, and then she's like, "Oh, wait." I was like, "Well, look it up for me. Look it up." I was driving. She was here, I think, at the house. So she looks it up, and she had her location out in Wisconsin. So they don't have that fucking beer here, unfortunately.
Oh, porque eso sí, like with the whole spotted cow thing, like that's the whole thing. It's just you
Exclusive.
can only find it in Wisconsin, yeah.
Yeah.
Pero pues, porque I don't think I've ever seen it at a liquor store here.
No,
Yeah.
tampoco.
I know I tried looking for another Total Wine here también, like when I first got back from that fishing trip, y pues no nada. I was like, just in case. They have a bunch of beer in different selections y todo, different countries, pero now no spotted cow.
Mm.
I know for a while, Total Wines was the one that would sell one of the only non El Segundos. I mean, the only store outside of El Segundo Brewery that would sell the Broken Skulls.
Mhm.
That's how I know
Yeah.
about Total Wine.
That's how you told me about that too. I remember.
Mhm.
Pero Barromero, what you got going on? I see
Mira,
you got a whole mix over there. Dude.
Sí, ahí tengo mi vasito aquí hecho. Pero I did so I have a little bit of this whiskey here. Dalmore, aged 12 years.
Nice.
Tengo un poquito de ese. Y
Y ya lo
um,
vas a mixear, ¿no?
no.
Cheers, no?
No, y también tengo un poquito de este que es just bourbon from Kirkland Bourbon.
Okay.
Ajá.
I like
So
that bottle.
dije, it's not the bottle. So that's a canter. Like I
Oh.
poured it in there.
Okay.
The canter. Porque ya sabes que las botellas de Kirkland, like they're like pinches,
Super tall.
2 feet long and shit.
Literally.
So I did that. So I right now I have the Kirkland bourbon with a little bit of this
Sprite?
whiskey, no? With a little bit of Sprite.
I never tried it like that. So
Y yo
there was
tampoco, pero
Sprite?
me salió
Yeah.
un Sprite un Sprite. Te digo, pinche. Y eso que no empezó a tomar, ¿eh?
he's thirsty.
Un
dude,
real
he's
con
thirsty.
que, sí, que le
starts
echara
what?
poquito Sprite. And I'm like, let me try it. So that's why I have it here. So a ver qué tal I haven't tried it. I just like left it there para que se refrescara un poquito, a ver qué tal sale.
Wow. Miguel, you want to say something? I saw you.
Oh, I was gonna say, I'm like, when Ron was talking about las botellas de Costco, I've noticed that they're very fragile también, like the Kirkland brands.
Really?
So when I got this one, yeah, the old fashioned ones, right? So yes, que
Oh, I
compré
have
dos.
not had that one, dude. I have not seen it either. ¿Qué hiciste?
Nice.
There's better ones, right? Pero like, so I had two. All I did was, I'm scared to do it. You know what? I'm gonna do it with two different bottles.
Oh shit, what's going on?
All I went like this cuando like we were trying to put them in the cart, and bro, one of them just shattered like all
Oh,
crazy
shit.
and like se rompió and everything. I was like, fuck. Now, mind you, playing around, I was like, I should like scoop a little bit out, or ya ves que se quedó poquito. Like try it, para ver. If I would have tried, I would have known. Maybe I shouldn't. Pero pues tenía vidrio adentro. You know, like I didn't want to sacrifice it.
So in
But
those
now-
cases, did they charge you for the bottle or?
I mean, I never told them I broke it. I just told them, hey, like somebody broke something.
Se rompió, ¿no?
I'm not gonna be dumb and be like, oh, I broke. I was like, oh, aunque like estaba escurriendo un carrito, no, like I was like pushing the cart.
He's
Todo
all wet
lleno
and
de
shit.
pinche.
Sí,
Sí.
Sí, güey.
Oh, I just peed myself. My bad. I got scared. Oh, yeah. It's like,
Oh, this is me.
yeah.
I heard a loud bang and just pissed myself, ¿no?
Vamos, just pues salud, ¿no? Porque ya está
Ya
agua
se-
santa, ya. Mucho. I'm intrigued, Romero. Let me know what you think about that
Mhm.
mixture.
Maybe I was afraid to put a lot of Sprite. So nomás le puso muy poquito, and it tastes like if the whiskey had a little bit of bubbles. So it's like si le hubiera puesto poquita like sparkling
yeah.
water or something.
Yeah.
Sí.
Okay. Not bad.
Pero espérate, le pongo un poquito más.
Ahí
A
sí,
veces,
dude.
pues, tienes el
Let us
spray
know.
ahí, güey, para vez de que le eches poquito, dude.
Ahí sí, dude.
Y
Pero
ahora
vamos, muchachos.
necesito más whiskey, ¿no? Espérate.
We might as well, dude. You got to perfect that formula one way or another. So it's either more whiskey or more Sprite.
I don't know, pues it tastes good. I don't know if I would
You
just
try it
because I
again?
like whiskey by itself.
Okay, that's true.
I was like, como Romero's kicking off to the. Well, I'm not gonna lie. Muchachos, I did not open up the agenda, so I don't know the topic.
Okay, you could have told us that. You could have told us that off air, dude, and we would have gotten you.
No,
But now,
it's because I was about to say something. I'm like, wait, I don't know what goes first. So I'll wait.
go for it, dude.
Well,
Let's
this
go.
is it's an
Improvise it.
AMA, dude. Ask Miguel
Ah,
anything.
ba. No, well, I was gonna say, I was like, so obviously with everything that's going on, right? One of the things that is happening is, I know there's a big boycott for a lot of companies and a lot of brands that have
Mhm.
been supporting either the removal of what is it? Is it DEI
DNI.
or
Mhm.
what's it called? Even the support for Trump, ahora que está haciendo the mass deportations. So I was gonna say, I'm like, Rome's kicking us off because one of them is actually Coca-Cola, who owns Sprite. So
They
that is
rolled
one
back.
of the companies. Huh?
They rolled back
So
on.
so Coca-Cola is one of the companies that donated and has been. The list is long.
It's huge. I know. I kind of.
Yeah.
I was just
It's
going.
long.
Goddamn.
Like,
All the
it's all the
companies that supported the Trump election or
Yeah.
that
so
Donated.
are for removing the diversity. What is it? Diversity,
What does it stand for?
equity, and inclusion.
quality and diversity, quality, and inclusion. So
And
there's some that
inclusion.
are both,
The
some that are
ENI.
one or the other.
Mhm.
So they're making whole list of like, hey, these are the companies that have
Deja,
been.
voy a vomitar la Sprite. Espérame tantito.
No. Well, I was saying because
Sprite, not the whiskey, dude.
Sí, sí,
Sí,
sí.
no, nomás el puro Sprite. Dude.
no, because I was like, because one of the other companies on there is actually McDonald's.
Ooh, how
Is
do you feel
who?
about that?
McDonald's. So
Mm.
there's a lot of big companies, and there's companies that you wouldn't expect, like Target.
Right, I
Target.
heard the Target, like everybody was talking about like boycotting Target y todo ese pedo, but then also a lot of I guess they would still be considered small businesses or entrepreneurs that are of color and are minorities. They have products in
Mhm.
Target. So they're like, yo, before you do that, think about people that are starting you to launch new brands or whatever that have items in these stores.
Dude, for example, one of the ones Salud just started rolling out on Target too. So I mean, shout out to Salud, right? They sponsored a couple episodes in the past, but they started rolling out in some Targets. I don't know exactly. I know they gave out a number. I don't know exactly what number it
Well,
was,
I
but
see them at Targets here, and I see them
Mhm.
in Walmarts also.
oh, I have not heard about Walmart's. But where do we shop that at now, dude? Like Target, Walmart. I mean, what else is
Target's
like?
Walmart list.
Costco.
What's on the list? So
Costco is not, dude.
Costco is the safe
We'll
one.
prefer
Yeah.
Costco. is where you
Aldi.
shop it.
Shout out
Shout
to
out,
Aldi.
shout out to Aldi.
Aldi is Aldi's another safe one, dude.
So, for those people that don't know what DEI means, can anybody explain a little bit for those that went to Bogan?
I mean, we all went to Bogan, dude.
I know, right?
Oh, all right. Can you explain it for me then, if you want to be completely honest? Then?
So I mean, Rome kind of pues, en eso trabaja, no? Like he's a DEI
Ah, well.
master now.
I am not
rolled it out too, no?
DE and I.
¿Te imaginas?
He took it out. We quit this podcast
I-
right now, dude.
I went to our old trusty tío Google
Ujú.
y le pregunté para que poder informar bien a la gente que cómo puedo describir el DE&I. DE&I encompasses people of different ages, races, ethnicities, abilities, and disabilities, genders, religions, cultures, and sexual orientations. It also covers people with diverse backgrounds, experiences, skills, expertise. Diversity, equity, and inclusion are three different but interconnected concepts.
Yeah. So
Okay.
obviously, for example, like Latino. So think of Latinos, mujeres,
Muslims.
religion, like all type of religion, disabilities as well. People of different backgrounds. For example, like with degrees, without degrees, stuff like that. Like
So that's the diversity aspect, right? But basically, they're organizational frameworks. So within an organization, like we named a few, Target, whatever, they removed the DNI programs, which they're the programs that are there are to make sure that there's equal treatment, that there's no discrimination, Then there are like it is mandatory that they have a diversity staff, like a diversity in their staff.
Yeah.
So it kind of protects those, I guess, multiple minority groups to make sure that everybody has a fair, equal treatment and there's no discrimination in the workforce.
Right.
Dude, and it's crazy because I know one of the arguing points of people that defend rolling back the DEI is that whoever's better qualified should be the one to get the position rather than kind of like force is the
Right.
like
Like you
someone
need
from
X amount of minorities
right.
to be working for your company so you could be considered diverse work
But at
employment,
the same
whatever.
time, like we were like I was doing some research, dude,
Hell yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
and
No.
so white men account for 30% of the population in the US. However, they're 60%. They hold 62% of all elected offices. Y aparte, they are, let's see, they're 57% of all C-level executives. So, based on that, do you think that 30% es más, como dicen, like, oh, like whoever is qualified to have that position? Do you really think 30% accounts for 57%? Do you really think that everybody that is in that situation is better qualified than other people? So I think this is why it's important to have a program like this, porque it helps. It just helps diversify and give
The
opportunity to
workforce.
those right opportunity that those that don't have that opportunity. And another point someone made was, all right, if that's your argument, de que like whoever is better qualified should be getting the position, then should we take away the question of what's your race and gender from job applications?
Mhm.
Because if it's based on who's better qualified, then why does that matter?
Right.
That's a fair point.
That's a fair point.
Go ahead,
I'll,
Miguel.
I'll tell you this: the reason why I even started working in tech was through DEI pushes, right? So, obviously, I came from IC Stars, the tech boot camp, and from there, when I met with
Business leadership and technology training program, please.
oh, perdón, se me olvidó, no, se me olvidó. We'll put an ad somewhere, no? Evata Romero, no, like like the
Second
ad,
applications.
like,
He's in the
reading a
corner right
book,
now.
like, oh hi,
I didn't see you there. Like,
yeah, like, no, but I was like, so like, obviously, like, I got into tech through kind of a DE and I program. So Discover was kind of pushing that. From there, they decided like, hey, because think about it, I had no degree, I had no nothing, I had no experience, I had no knowledge, nada. So, but because through that program, like honestly, like I was able to excel like what people thought I was going to be able to do at Discover, and now like what's it called, because of all the work I've done and everything, like I was able to get the position I have now at McDonald's, right? Again, without a degree, without nothing, but it's all based off of the knowledge and all the experience that I had when I was at Discover because I went through that DE and I
Mhm.
program. So I know that when I would talk to other people, and like it was a certain particular group of people. I'm not gonna say who or what. That when they would find out that I had no college degree, I had no nothing, and I came from South Side of Chicago and everything, they were kind of like, oh, como que ni me querían pelar. Yeah, they were like, oh, whatever,
Dude,
And
but were they white, dude?
I mean, most of them happen to be white appearing. That's the proper term, right, Rome? White appearing.
Allegedly Caucasian.
I
Okay.
mean, yeah, I was gonna say, they make you check that box, if you're
Yeah.
Caucasian. So I'm assuming that that's the right term that they want to
Right.
go by. But
Yeah.
but I think that's the importance of the having diversity in the workplace and why it's important to have um programs like that again, because Miguel put himself as an example, right? He went through a training place where he gained some tech skills, and because Discover had opportunities to hire diverse talent with non-traditional educational backgrounds, he was able to get an opportunity and make the most out of it, right? So now he was able to start you know, a tech career where if those programs did not exist, those doors would not have been open for him, no matter how much tech experience or
Mm-hmm.
tech skills he had.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but now that these it's people are rolling back these programs and taking them away, it's like now those companies, those Fortune 500 companies, are not being forced to give opportunities to those who normally wouldn't have had those.
Right.
And I think that's where, you know like, yeah, like what I see, like a lot of people are like, well, some people can vote, other people can't. But also ultimately, yeah, once things are in progress, like, your dollar counts, right? And that's why the
No.
boycotts happen. But it's hard, like, porque I think you mentioned, Jenny, like, pues a dónde vamos a comprar cosas now, right? Like, you try to be responsible with how you spend your money, where you spend, and who you support. But it's like, what do? You can't. I don't know if that's gonna fix everything.
Right. I was gonna ask you, just to kind of pick at you for a little bit. Now, I know you obviously you work in I forgot what you said, the tech boot camp, right?
The
I,
video
I know
will
you.
be up, dude. The video will be up.
Yeah, but how are you guys dealing with all this stuff? Because I know you guys work with various companies. Is it something where you guys feel is gonna definitely affect you guys as far as like hiring or being able to have the students move forward with a job position anywhere else, or how is that? Why are you guys looking with that?
Yeah. So for some context, right? So I work at a not for profit, and we do teach technology, business, leadership skills. And I'm not, for legal reasons, I'm not a spokesperson for the company, but I can do say that when programs like these are, do get rolled back, obviously you see a harder, because we also assist with job placement at the end of the internship, right? So I don't know how that's going to impact us yet, but yeah, it does limit the opportunities for our graduates to go and find employment if if it gets to that point where there's no more requirement or whatever to have, I don't know, 30% of your company be diverse or whatever, diverse hires.
Hmm.
And I'm not saying that that's always been the case. I think we build that partnership and they want to work with us, and that's how we are able to place our talent. But ultimately it does close some doors. Maybe not directly for us, but other people as well. Like, I think, and also, like, making sure that that opportunities are, like I said, available for many that would not have that opportunity, and the fair treatment. And we I think there was an episode where we talked about non-gender bathrooms, right?
Right.
like like all of that goes away. Like, there's no requirement for certain companies to have um a non-gender, and I don't know if that's the right term, the non-gender bathroom. Um,
Gender neutral.
Gender neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So I'm like, all of those things kind of go away because there's no support for these groups.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's it's tough, dude. It's tough when you think about DNI. Like we've had this conversation a few times with people at work, with people obviously you on LinkedIn, and these
Mhm.
conversations are being had there. And you would so LinkedIn. I'm sure everybody knows what it is.
I
For
don't.
those
I
that don't
don't.
know,
But
it is a professional's Facebook, dude.
oh, I'm not a
And
professional apparently. Dude.
so
I don't
like
have one.
you create your profile, and it's all your work experience. Everybody try Normally everybody tries to keep it professional. You network, that kind of stuff. So think of it like
But people
if
have been bold about where
yes,
they stand politically in these professional social networking sites.
Mhm.
and the DE and I conversation has been kind of spreading a little bit on you know LinkedIn and on different platforms and stuff. And it's been, a little bit interesting to see as even some people that are recruiters actually kind of recruiters or HR people kind of saying like that they're happy that that these companies are moving away from D&I initiatives. And I was like, that's interesting. Okay, I'm like, like I will reserve the words to myself because I don't know enough for me to say them. I see que pues, por qué, why they may kind of think of that way. But it's been this whole DNI has been very interesting of how people view this and how people, and especially people that have never even gone through this, and like I understand, right? So if you are a Caucasian male, right? To you, pues te vale madre, if there's DNI, because to you it's like, if anything, it hurts you, right? Because so that's why a lot of people are like that are Caucasian males, not all of them, some of them. Por eso, like, they're like, you know what, good, que se quite, whatever, because they don't know the struggle, pretty much.
So I know we talk about like people getting hired, right? Right now we're talking about companies had to have a certain geographic thing with religion and race and everything in their communities. Do you guys think it would eventually affect people already hired on? So people that are already in the companies, big companies, whatever. You think it's going to affect them? Like it's going to be a little easier for them to let them go, type of thing. Like
I was going to say, like that's
right.
That's where you go into, right? Because now it's no longer a requirement to be a diverse staff. So
I
if
don't
you
think
wanted
that
to
would,
let people go,
I don't think that would roll back. Still, the what was it? Fuck, no me acuerdo cómo es, but it's like getting fired because of a
Right, they're not going to let you go because you're Hispanic or because of that. But I feel like eventually is going to lead up to.
If you look at Illinois, it's a fire at will state, so they can just fire you without an explanation. Like, I mean, obviously you can, fight it through HR and say that it's discrimination. You can, find reasons why it's an unfair firing. Pero, I mean, I can show up to work tomorrow and be like, hey, we're letting you go, and they don't have to give me an explanation why. At least I know that about Illinois, not Illinois. Illinois.
Oh, now where Miguel lives. Right. Miguel lives in Illinois. But that's crazy, dude. Yeah, it's definitely going to cost. Obviously, it's so fresh. It's going to cost a lot of. It's already obviously costing a bunch of controversy, but eventually, it just feels it's going to be such a domino effect. We're going to know so much about it, like even afterwards. Like I said, the people that are already working in this industries and all these companies and stuff, where I feel like they're going to be affected by it as well. And for example, I know Miguel, like he said, he put himself as an example. He went through a boot camp. He did this, he learned, and then he moved.
¿Cómo era? Leadership. What was it? Porque luego I saw his face like.
Business leadership and technology training program.
He wanted to resend the link, dude, for sure.
Antes, casi como si le estuviera diciendo que estaba haciendo un MySpace page, ¿no? He's in website, dude. Face, dude.
If there's anything easier that I can say, dude, without saying everything you said earlier, let me know, dude, and I'll try to remember it. Something more simple, shorter, dude. Not no riddle, dude, please.
No, I les dejo una tarea, no? I figure it out and then come back to me and let us know.
Como Giant Boy, next time he says it, he's gonna go to the website and just read the highlights. Like I started like.
Dude, put it in the agenda, dude. Just put it in the agenda. Next time I say something, I'll go ahead and just look this way. Moving forward, muchachos, any last thoughts on that or anything you guys wanted to add?
No, I think the only thing is obviously there's a lot of surprises. There's a lot of huge surprises, and especially a lot of places that are very heavily Latino.
Time out. Look at my boy Tank with this fancy ass fucking cup. God damn! You didn't tell me you had that, boy.
Wait. Are you drinking old fashioned on a wine cup?
He went like that for a second.
I'm not drinking.
He's drinking Moscato, dude.
Moscato, dude.
I thought you said you were gonna drink the old fashioned.
I was, but then me acordé que tenía la botellita.
Okay.
He's trying to support Aldi, dude.
Aldi.
Yeah.
Shout out to Aldi.
Aldi's doing the right thing, dude.
Yeah,
which the old fashions from Costco, so.
Fuck yeah. Costco.
También.
Costco, if you're listening. But sorry, Megan.
No, I was just saying this is a surprise that it's a lot of big companies that are very heavily Latino support it. No, Home Depot, Lowe's, TJ Maxx, what is it like? Home Goods, Marshalls, all those kind of stores. Like, think about it, dude. Like, you take a Mexican mom a la Ross, TJ Maxx, Home Depot, and like a Marshalls, like right next to each other. That's
Elise,
a whole
dude.
day thing, dude. That's a whole day thing.
You see, yeah.
It's a marketing strategy for sure, dude. Having them all next to each other.
Hell
No
yeah.
lies, no lies.
Yeah,
Especially
yeah.
for a Hispanic person, like honestly.
Shit. Like they're gonna go back to like when nosotros when we were like fucking like 16, no, when we go to the mall, like going like yeah, you know, we were about to like get good, you know, like así están las mamás, no?
Ford City. Shout out to Ford City, dude.
It's empty as hell, but I see you, no?
I don't know about now, dude, but back then, yes.
R.I.P. I was gonna say R.I.P. No, it's the Fort City, but R.I.P. all those people that went to Fort City.
Está bien, dude.
Está peligrosito, dude. Pero we talked a little bit about Illinois.
Hey.
Pero I don't know cómo están las cosas allá en
You heard that,
California.
right? You heard it wasn't just me.
He
Por
did
eso
on
lo
purpose,
dije,
dude.
dude. Illinois.
Yeah.
The ice rates, dude. Like, I mean, last week we talked about como, I mean, it was a threat, basically. Like, we were just kind of holding and waiting until we saw some stuff getting, happening and things were shaking and stuff like that. So, real quick, I see allá in California, Johnny Boy, have you heard, seen, or how are you guys living through those, if anything, over there by you?
So I just found out today. My suegra went to this place called Cathedral City, which is it's maybe about 45 minutes away, and we go. Well, I haven't gone lately, but we go get a specific carne asada for that city. So it's 45 minutes away, east. So not going towards LA, and it's you get to like a desert spot, like it's a bunch of desert. And then I think my girl was telling me that if she saw a border patrol, and apparently, yeah, they were seeing border patrol like around the area. Obviously, now I feel like everybody's like on edge, right? I feel like the media, social media, and just in general facts that have been happening have been spread out pretty frequently these last couple of days. So yeah, she's scared. I know like, for example, my suegra is already kind of like in the legal process to fix her papers, so that's good for her. But nonetheless, you still get some sort of maybe un poquito de nervios, yeah, a little bit scared. Like her status is more here than back in Mexico because of her, again, she's fixing her papers. But yeah, she's still scared. It's one of those things where I don't know. I just feel like this whole right now the administration, people compare. It's like, oh well, Obama did it, right? He deported a bunch of people, so why can't Trump do it? And one guy kind of on TikTok I was saying, it's like, well, he had morals. Like he didn't inject panic in people. And yeah, he deported people, but a lot of those people were people that actually had a criminal background. But even before rolling all that stuff, he took care of the people that were actually good here. In this case, DACA. He rolled out a program where he's like, okay, I'm going to take care of these people, but I'm also going to try to get rid of all these other people that have all these felonies and so on. Nowadays, they just signed, what was that act? Riley's, there's a specific act that they just signed. And I don't want to speak too much because, yeah, obviously I don't know too much about it because I don't even know the name of it.
Yeah.
But they signed that, and I know there's some like a clause in there that says that you could get detained and you could get deported without even being guilty, without being proved guilty. So that shit, dude. I mean, think about it. Like I'm with you. Yeah, like I'm with you guys or whatever, and then randomly somebody points at us and be like, "Hey, they were with them too." Shit, they take us, they deport us, and then obviously we're not guilty. But before all that process, just because we were technically pointed at and said, yeah, they were with us, like they'll pretty much believe that and eventually deport us.
So is it the Laken Riley Act?
Yeah, that should just, it got signed in effect. Yeah.
Let me just read this quick little paragraph here.
And I saw a video. It talked about similar what you said on Johnny Boy. They said like past presidents have deported as the immigrants. Yeah, so
all the presidents, right? I think that's
right.
That's a thing.
Yeah,
right. And they're like, we could agree on that. It's like but the way that Trump has done it by not only deporting but terrorizing like
Legit, dude.
the people, there's like the way that he's going about it, and I don't want to speak too much ahead porque pues ya vi también vi el ¿cómo se llama? Legenda, dude. I don't want to skip, pero yeah, dude, like it's just the way that he's going about it, y because nunca habíamos tenido like right now where it's like in major cities like all over the country and shit, where you have other agencies helping out porque no tienen the manpower to like do these mass deportations. So yeah, dude, it's just I don't know, it's fucking crazy.
It's some sort of panic for sure, dude. I mean, I feel like I have quote unquote some sort of legal status here, and yeah, I'm freaking out because my plates are due and I haven't paid them, and it's like, well, I could get stopped for something. I'm serious, I could get stopped for something like that, and it's like, damn, like I'm trying to keep everything in line, trying to pay whatever I have to pay. I mean, fuck the light bill, no, pero mientras pague mis placas, like, I'm at that point where it's like I'm thinking stuff like that, and it's so weird because I never felt this way. I never felt like a.
Now you made me think, dude. Porque that one ticket.
Yeah. Well, oh shit. Well, okay. Well, allegedly, dude. Allegedly. But I feel like
we said that
never...
Trump listens to this podcast, right? So
he does, dude. I never felt like some sort of prisoner within my own household, and I don't mean to feel that way. And I was saying, my girl sometimes she'll be like, "Did you hear about this?" And I'll be like, "Honestly, I haven't." And I don't for a reason. Like I try to skip through shit.
It's intentional, right?
Yeah. I try not to because I'm already kind of like thinking. I tend not to overthink shit, and if I start seeing multiple stuff like that, I get interested, and then I'll do research. And like that act that you read, well, I know you wanted to read a paragraph, like that's itself. I started scrolling to shit. It says stuff about DACA, like it's like there's DACA written on that bill. So I started freaking out, and I was like, "Fuck, I shouldn't have done this shit."
I'm gonna stop sending you TikToks now.
Please, dude. I'll be honest, I haven't opened them, dude. I haven't opened a lot of them.
Don't. You're excited, it's fine then.
Yeah, no. Pero dale, Romero, what are we gonna read about that?
Well, I just like kind of went to look up that the Riley Act that you had mentioned. So it is from the Homeland Security, where it just kind of just stated today, January 29th. So this was yesterday. President Trump signed his first piece of legislation into law, the Lake and Riley Act. This law mandates the federal detention of illegal immigrants who are accused of theft, burglary, assaulting law enforcement officers, and any crime that causes death or serious bodily injury. A statement from Secretary Noam on the signing of this bill is below. Thank you, President Trump, for signing the Lake Riley Act. This law restores common sense to our broken immigration system. Under President Trump, violent criminals and vicious gang members will no longer be released into American communities. The Riley Act is named after a Georgia nursing student who was killed by a Venezuelan alien who was previously arrested and patrolled into the U.S. under the previous administration. But I think what you were alluding to earlier, outside of this law being something that kind of deports people with a criminal background, is the collateral damage of happening to be in the same place as that person.
Time. Right.
So, right. Like they're looking for somebody and then you just get taken. I mean, there's been a lot of cases. Sorry, Miguel, I'll let you speak in 1 second. But I'm like, I've seen a lot of cases now that when ICE goes into these places, they're taking Puerto Ricans with.
Yeah.
Right.
That was a case, dude.
And it's about that. And it's like, okay, like why are you taking a Puerto Rican person? They're legal in this country. They're part of the, not 51 states, but they're part of the United States. So again, just the collateral damage that happens when they go after somebody, right?
That actually happened. Sorry, Miguel. That actually happened in Milwaukee. I think if I'm mistaken, it was Milwaukee, where they were. I don't know if it was like a restaurant or some sort of. It was just a public place, and it was a family. It was a kid. It was a mom and the grandma or the mom.
Yeah.
And they were speaking Spanish, and ICE overheard, and they're like, "Oh shit, we're gonna take them." They took them. They're from Puerto Rico. They're legal to be in the United States. And it wasn't until they were actually in the detention center where they actually was like, "Hey, I'm legal to be here." And it's like, wait, what the fuck? Like they're really going that way? Like they really I don't know, dude. That's crazy. Like now, again, we go back to this. Like now, is it okay if I talk Spanish? Like, should I speak English when I go out and my daughters are with me? So in case someone is listening undercover, I
Pero que
mean,
no te hagan decir Walmart, güey, porque si no.
or February, dude, porque no lo puedo decir,
Yeah.
or burglary, dude, to you, porque
Sí.
ahorita no puedes decir burglary. Va, pero ya, muchachos.
Go ahead, Miguel.
Thank you.
Well, as you were talking, me acuerdo otra cosa también. Like, I know one of the persons that was detained, was a veteran.
Oh yeah,
Era un Latino.
Oh, yeah.
I heard about that shit
That
too.
was a veteran, and that he was upset, right? Because he's like, hey, I tried showing documentation. Is like, hey, like here's like I'm a veteran. I served, and they kept saying like, oh, that it's probably fake. Y no lo quieren dejar salir. And it was a battle for him to poder salir, right? So like I think right now they're just grabbing people, and because of that, there's a lot of issues, right, that are happening. People are getting taken that are even U.S. citizens. So U.S. citizens are getting taken. People from other countries are getting taken, like when we hit to Puerto Rico, Venezuelans who have the asylum. Technically, they
He
shouldn't be taken.
he revoked that shit,
También.
dude. He just
So
revoked that.
yeah, like he revoked it. I think he removed the year, no, or something, or did he revoke it
I think
completely?
it's if you're seeking asylum, I think um anybody that's seeked asylum from 2 years forward, they want them to file for refugee asylum outside of U.S. borders. But anyone before previous those 2 years, then they're safe. They can be here and finish their process. So it's a 2 year period where from the moment he signed, 2 years going back, it's like anybody that has seek for asylum and they're in the process of getting that, he wants to get rid of them and have them file for asylum outside of the country versus the ones that are in the process um, further back than 2 years.
Yeah.
I just gotta say, dude. So Claudia has been on it, dude. That was because she said she's like, you know what? Um, if you are deporting anybody that's not Mexican, you cannot fly over Mexico. So they literally have to do a whole loop
Oh, la
around.
estás dando la presidenta.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like it's like around. Like it is
Sí.
fucking ridiculous. Lo que van a gastar because
Yes.
they would have
Yeah,
to.
she's making it hard.
Yeah, because they would have to fly to California first, hold them in California. From there, kind of fly over to I don't know, it was Haiti or somewhere, and then from
Haiti or
there fly
Tahiti or
down.
something
Yeah,
like that.
somewhere I think Haiti or Tahiti, yeah, and then from there fly down. So it's like all these crazy shit, right? And then she told him, "Is like, hey, like when the planes get here, we're gonna make sure like are they Mexican? If they're not Mexican, we're not gonna let
Te
them
los
in.
tienes que
You guys
llevar.
gotta take them back." Yeah. So like she's been
Mhm.
on it, and like
Did you see que, huh? Que she also opened, like she said, any Mexican that gets deported back into the into Mexico, um, she was gonna have like X amount of jobs lined up and kind of also some like financial assistance
Mhm.
until they get
So-
back on their feet.
From what I saw, I think it's close to the border. She's gonna make, or she's making like a little asylum, I guess you could call it, donde ahí van a llegar y les van a empezar a dar ayuda. Like, I forgot what amount it was,
Yeah, I don't know the amount either.
but kind of like have them there, and then keep them there until they're ready to like make the move to where there is
Where they
like,
need to go
whatever-
just to get back on their feet so that they could
Right,
be self-standing and then move to wherever they need to go.
right, because she's like que no los quiere integrar luego without them, like, o sea, nada más así como que like, ay, pues ustedes ahí se la ven como la hacen.
Mhm.
Y and yeah, and I think the money that she's getting was going to be for the food, because I think that they're going to provide the transportation as well from like there to wherever it is, then los tienen que ir a
Their
dejar and
destination?
stuff. Yeah,
Sí.
so yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So I'll say this though, like she's been on it though. Like she's been doing pretty good. I haven't really looked into like I know they even did an app. The
Oh
where
yeah,
it's, like,
I saw that.
yeah, like that if you're in the process of getting deported or ICE comes, you click on the button, le manda una alerta to the closest consulado,
Mhm, mhm.
and what's it called from there? Like you're able to
Oh, damn.
contact them, you're able
Yeah.
to all this. So there's an app that you
And
could
that app
download.
is coming from where?
It's
The Mexican government, dude.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
for
del
the
Consulado Mexicano.
yeah. I know she hired a bunch of people too for the Mexican consulates, like to be overstaffed for shit like that's happening now.
Sí.
So people, para que la gente también se eduque y si quieres ir al consulado te van a dar información, blah blah blah. But yeah. Nonetheless, guys, let's kind of move forward. Any last thoughts on that? I know we're talking about we're getting all over the place, and we're not trying
Yeah.
to, but
No,
yeah,
no.
I think
One of
good
the
points. Good
things
points.
to mention is that when we're talking about ice raids y todo ese pedo, era that the harsh truth of now ICE being able to, or just basically removing the protection from churches, schools, hospitals,
I heard
right?
about that.
And I mean, here in Chicago, we saw on the news and people reported. I don't think it was ICE, but it was Secret Service, right? Or not?
It
Or
was
who was it?
Homeland Service. I
They
think
thought it was ice,
Homeland
but yeah,
Security.
Homeland
yeah.
Security. Yeah,
But
there you go.
point being is que like CPS was, or Chicago Public Schools were like, no, we're not letting you in. And honestly, when that happened, my thought went into like, all right, you're not gonna let them in, and thank you CPS for putting the warnings out there, communicating with families. But it was like, if ICE wanted to show up at the end of the school day, parents are picking up their kids,
Yeah.
They could
right?
Technically, yeah.
so they could technically show up outside
Yeah.
the school, right? Like,
Which I think that's why también, from what I heard was that a lot of parents were thinking of like, should I send my
Pulling their
kids
kids
to
from
school?
school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And one of the I had this conversation with Carla, I think it was yesterday, 2 days ago. There was a post, and I'm sure, I want to think that you all saw it. I honestly came across it like super early in the morning, and I saw that shit, and it's like, fuck, I didn't even have the heart to share it, because it was like pretty sad. But Carla brought it up, and she shared it and everything, but it was some, like, a parent saying like, hey, I found this letter in my son's book bag, and it was from a friend,
I saw that.
saying like, hey, if I don't come back to school, it's because ICE got me, or something like that, something along those lines of like
So
I
it's
don't
like
know
a
if I'm gonna be back,
like a
but
second grader
you've
or
been
first
my,
grader.
yeah, but it's like you're my best friend, and I'm always gonna remember you. I'm from El Salvador,
Yeah.
and it's like fuck, like, why are kids having to deal with that shit, right? And that's the hard part.
Yeah.
so this is where I get into this argument with people who support, people who are like, you know what, I'm for it. I'm for. I understand deportations, right? I'm like, I understand the reason, right? And like,
Yeah, you
what?
want your bad hombres out of your country. Fuck it. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get it, right? Where it's like, and you always get like before they had said that they were only going to target criminals and all this and that, and then the speaker, dijo like, oh well, if they're here illegally, they're already criminals, so we could take to go after them already.
Mhm.
And he's like, that's fucked up. That's not what you were saying earlier, but whatever, like,
Yeah.
se espera from that cabinet, to come up with some wild shit, But I was gonna say, I'm like, for all this talk about, being what's it called, be for the children, and like para todo, no, para todo, it's like, oh, we got to think of our kids, trans rights, like, you got to think for your kids, like, what's it called? What's the other one? You can't be pro-choice because you got to think about the kids, and everything is like, think about the kids, think about the kids. But when it comes to this, they're fine with ICE going into schools and pulling kids out and deporting them. And yeah, we've seen what could happen. We've seen how many kids have disappeared when they've been, in the process of que los han agarrado, and then they just disappear a bunch of kids, and
Mhm.
nobody does anything about it. So
I
all
mean,
this
that
kind of
was a
shit is
big
like
thing
fucked up.
when all the, like, Venezuelans and everybody was
Yeah.
coming to the country, that they separated the families.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, that shit was still that went unresolved. Like,
yeah,
not a lot of parents found their
Other
kids ever
kids, yeah.
again.
Yeah, it's so sad, dude.
And that's what I'm talking about. It's like there's layers to this, approach, and how, like, I understand this fucking great feeling about making America great again, and all this other stuff that you want to talk about, but once it comes down to that, to seeing children making messages like that, or just even knowing that they're living the day to day of, like, I'm gonna go to school because that's what I do as a kid, but I don't know if I'm gonna be back with my parents. I don't know if I'm gonna be back the next day to school. Like, why do kids have to go through that? Like, that's unfortunate.
No, I
It's
was just
okay.
gonna say, como they don't want criminals in their country. They just want them in their fucking presidency, no?
For real.
The
Hey,
presidency and so like
And the streets too, dude. They pardoned all
the
those people
streets.
from January 6th. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I was like, I don't know if you guys watch.
Oh, thanks, dude. Appreciate the applaud, dude. Whoever's applauding, dude, I appreciate that shit. Wherever you at? No, what the,
What the-
who's that?
what was
Go ahead. Go ahead.
from Comedy Central. What is it, like, Daily News or yeah, the Daily News, no? Where they were talking about they're like, oh well, like, obviously they're like, hey, we want to go after the criminals, we want to go after this. They're like, but why go after the criminals when you're literally partying all these people, which han salido a few of them that are back in jail because of CP.
What's that? CP.
talk to me through that.
Well, I don't know if I could say it. That's why.
Okay, don't.
Child, and then
Okay.
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 porn.
Okay.
And
Bueno,
stuff
pensé
like
que no le
stuff
vas a
on
decir.
it.
No, I
Yeah,
know. I was gonna
I
say,
said
you just
porn.
said-
It was
said
nice
porn.
seeing you.
yeah. Okay.
Porn.
Thanks, guys. Everybody for no.
Say-
Make sure not to follow. Subscribe. No, dude. No, it's the whole child thing. That the thing that you were talking about, dude. That shit. That shit got me a little deep because I remember having the thought of talking to the girls about that, like,
Mhm.
kind of getting them prepared for that. And then my girl's like, "No, you're not gonna let them know shit. Like, as soon as shit like that happens, shit hits the fan, we're gone. We're not gonna traumatize them for anything." And I don't want to judge the parents for letting the child know. I know their intentions
Wait, pero
is not bad.
sometimes
It's hard. It's
if
hard.
if I think honestly, if I think about it, and I've thought about this several times, like, how did I know that I did not have a legal status so early on? Because I don't think my parents ever told me straight up, like, this is our situation. I kind of figured that shit out on my own. And I want to say I was maybe, I came to this country at the age of 8. I think I was like, by the age of 10, I knew what was going on. And nobody, like, explicitly told me what was going on.
Right.
Um, so it's like, and nowadays, like, with social media and everything, like, I don't you could try to protect your kids and not tell them what situation you're in,
Yeah, it's
but
so open. Like, it's such a.
but it's, yeah,
It's
like,
huge.
I
Yeah.
I just don't know how you can protect anybody from that. Like,
So
whoever that kid. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, you got a
important.
text message, I
I
see.
got it. Yeah. So my girl, I guess she doesn't want to
Okay.
comment because she's
Oh,
shy.
madre, you can comment on here.
But she wants to make up a point, and I know
Mhm.
maybe she's gonna be upset because I'm reading it. But again, we're not as experts. We're telling.
Pero ¿cómo es el trend? We listen and we don't judge.
Oh,
We
listen,
listen, we don't judge. Me dijo, no, you guys are gonna mislead the people, not because they have the green light to go into schools and churches means that they will start to deport illegal kids. That only means that if an illegal alien hides inside of one of these institutions, they are allowed to come in and search. Unless you live in Oklahoma, ahí sí les quieren pedir papeles. Pues sí. But
Dude, I heard about Oklahoma, dude. That shit is wild.
Peligroso. Yo ya les dije a mis suegros
go-
que se vengan para Chicago, pero
no, dude.
good
point, though.
and
Good point. Good point.
Yes,
No.
it's a point, right? It's not like they're gonna be going to that, and I guess this is gonna lead us into. I think we briefly touched on this. I think by Miguel last episode, um, about judicial versus administrative warrants,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? About how you don't have to open the doors, you don't have to let them in if you're, you know, if you're in charge of an office space or whatever. Like, they like to allow ISIN is your choice
Correct.
unless they have a judicial warrant
Yes.
present,
Signed by
A
a
judge.
judge.
which is
signed by
very
a
rare
judge.
and is only for criminal cases. So if
Right.
ICE comes in, that's why they're saying that it's very important if you own a business to start putting up signs of like, employees only, or
Mhm.
like kind of like signs saying like the regular
You
public
cannot
cannot
go
go into
on
space.
beyond this point because
Yeah.
it's employees only, or if you're escorted by staff or whatever.
Correct.
So I do
Something like
have
that.
a quick example here, or of what you know, sample of judicial warrant. ICE can enter your home or employment place.
Damn, it's blurry as
Versus
fuck, boy.
it's blurry. I mean, you don't have to read the
Oh,
ins
my
and
bad.
outs of it,
Oh,
but you can tell.
I'm squinting like a motherfucker. I was like, and I got my glasses on, dude. I'm like, wait, what?
Right. So you can see
I would
they
Just
just
a
show
difference
up
in
with
structure, pretty much.
I would say for
yes.
everybody that's watching, you could screenshot it, and just read on your own time.
Yeah,
And like
right.
zoom in or something.
Yeah, you can't even zoom in, dude.
If you
My
screenshot,
bad.
you
Yeah,
could zoom
yeah,
in,
yeah.
dude.
My bad. I'm just fucking around. Dale, Romero. Perdón.
Point being, you see all the data points that are required in a judicial warrant versus an administrative warrant. Judicial warrant means that, yeah, like you can pretty much do nothing because they're looking specifically for you or specifically for a person, and this is signed by a judge. Now, the administrative warrant is just kind of like, we're here, we want to go in. You don't have to give in to any of that.
Correct.
Mhm.
So at that point, you can say no, and you can keep them outside as long as they want to stay, and then they just won't. They don't have the rights to enter your home or place of employment. Now,
I
but
like
if
that.
you open the door, that's on you.
Yeah.
Right.
At that point, yeah, you gave them entry, and you have no control over.
Come
So
right in, dude.
Right. So they're saying to tell them to slip the warrant under the door.
Underneath the door.
Para que no abras tú la puerta, sino que like,
right,
yeah.
Yeah, whatever you need to do to make sure that
ring
which side-
camera, slip it under the door, show it
put it
through
on the window.
little
Put it on the window,
peephole.
yeah.
I don't know what's it
I
called.
see it.
The-
I just know it's people. I don't know the proper term for it either. Pero-
Mándamelo por Facebook, no, mándamelo por.
Dude, you guys still. I talked about this documentary me and my girl watched. It's called The Watch Living Undocumented.
Oh, pensé que el de Juan Gabriel. Dije, no,
Oh,
I'm not
también,
ready.
dude. Hey, hold on. That was the final thing to end the episode.
Oh,
Pero
perdón.
bueno, yeah, you fucked it up.
Es que no estaba en la agenda, dude, no lo pusieron.
No, pues.
I was gonna say, I'm like, I think there's still even more things we could talk about.
I figure you would, but it's called Living Undocumented, and it's this is a 2019-2020 I think documentary. It's
Mhm.
really really good, and yes, a lot of people ICE would go
Living
to their house.
Undocumented documentary where?
Netflix.
Okay.
Mhm.
And you go, yeah, you search it up, and it's they're pretty much recording rates, and Trump is during his first term, and
Mhm.
they see that yeah, they show up, and it's like, oh, I'm looking for so and so. It's like, okay, and they let them in. It's like, yeah, sure, you come in. Like they get scared, they don't know their rights, and it's like, oh, you let me in, cool. Who's there? Who's that in the table? Wait, do you have papers? I was like, no. I was like, shit, okay, collateral. Boom, there's two
Mhm.
people there, and then they go in the room. It's like they start knocking, but because they let them in, and they let them in,
Yeah.
and they literally take. They were looking for one person. They took 4 people.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, whoa, shit. And so also I was hearing back then and today too, I believe they had a quota like to arrest and a certain amount of individuals to take them back and then eventually obviously deport them. Really good documentary, really sad. Obviously, people that voted for, there's a couple that voted for Trump, or a husband that voted for Trump. The wife isn't documented, and she's like, "Oh no, he's gonna help us. He's gonna help us." And eventually, the wife got deported.
She got deported, yeah.
Yeah, so it's really sad. It's the reality, but then you see two different types of people working for the government, for ICE or the Border Patrol. You see people like in New York, having the quota, having all this stuff, but then you also see agents like at the border, like Texas, Arizona, and they're like, yeah, like they're just human beings. They're just trying to make a living. Like they have more of morals, and like they have common sense to the point that it's like I understand why they come in here. Obviously, it's legal, blah blah blah. But I understand, and I don't treat them bad. I treat them with respect. Like we're both human beings. Like they have two different perspectives. Such a good documentary, dude. I haven't watched it, but I haven't watched it in since 2019, 2020. I will really
Mhm.
want to watch it again, but it's so good, dude. I definitely recommend it. But yeah, know your rights. And speaking of know your rights, dude, do you have some slides, dude, or that was the only slide you had?
No,
Ah,
I do.
you
Like that, dude. You like that
I
shit,
like
dude.
that
Ooh.
transition. Of course,
You
of
like that, of
course.
course, dude.
That's why you get
Este,
paid the big bucks, dude.
Johnny Ramos, dude.
Johnny Ramos, dude.
so along with that, know your rights and who you let into your home and judicial versus administrative warrants. Um, so there is the red cards. They're calling them. They're the know your right cards.
Mm.
Um, and I'm gonna put them up here up on the screen for those on YouTube. And if not, I'll make a link out to in our description later on in the episode. But basically, it's a know your rights cards by so this one is coming from the Immigrant Legal Resource Center. Uh, you can find them at www.ilrc.org. Um, and these are cards that you can print out at home
Mhm.
and just have them in your wallet. So dice, ustedes tienen derechos constitucionales. No abra la puerta si un agente de inmigración está tocando en la puerta. You don't have to open up. We just talked about that judicial warrant versus administrative warrant. ¿Cuál es el que tienen, you know? Y ya sea te lo enseñen through the peephole, te lo enseñen through the camera, te lo enseñen por under the door. No abran la puerta. No conteste ninguna pregunta. You don't have to answer any questions. Am, usted tiene el derecho de guardar silencio, no firmar nada, right? Siempre que vayan a firmar algo, quiero tener un abogado, like, el abogado te va a decir firma, no firma. Am, si usted está fuera de su casa, like, y llega esta situación, si lo detienen y usted puede preguntar si tiene la libertad de irse, y le dicen que sí, váyase. Like one of the things that the immigration lawyer is like, once they tell you you're free to go, don't run. Like no corran, váyase tranquilo. Y I mean, the only thing you can say is like, don't look back and just get away. Um, and then con esto de la red card, de la tarjeta roja, de Know Your Rights card, entrega esa tarjeta a la gente si usted está dentro de su casa. Muestre la tarjeta por la ventana, por donde quiera, porque the back of the card kind of speaks for itself. Y es esto. Dice, I do not wish to speak to you, answer your questions, or sign or hand you any documents based on my Fifth Amendment right under the United States Constitution. I don't give you permission to enter my home based on my Fourth Amendment rights under the United States Constitution unless you have a warrant to enter, signed by a judge or a magistrate with my name on it, that you can slide, under the door, camera, etc. But at that point is because they are looking for you. If they're not
Mhm.
specifically looking for you, do not open the door. I
Oh
do
yeah.
not give you permission to search any of my belongings based on my Fourth Amendment rights. I choose to exercise my constitutional rights. These cards are available to citizens and non-citizens alike. So, um, like I said, we can provide the link so you can print those cards out, hand them out, have them ready, just for whatever situation you encounter,
Mhm.
um, and making sure that your rights are not violated. And I mean, unfortunately, if they are, try to do your best to record the situation. Everybody has a phone, and do your best to capture that moment, as it will help you in the long run.
Mm. Yeah.
Pero it's just even going through that, like, it just, like, as I'm reading through it, as we're showing this, and hopefully helping some people out, in the back of my mind is like, it just sucks that we have to do this.
It does. It does. And you know what sucks more, which is another one that, and I think it's another thing that may or may not be in the agenda because I know Tank brought it up before. Um, Latino influencers that are not speaking about this. You know, there's a lot of Latino influencers that like have obviously made their money, kind of catering to the Latino community, but they're not. They're staying quiet. They're staying silent. they don't spread awareness when they have the platform to do it. Obviously, us like we have a smaller platform than them for now until Costco, or Aldi come, and they hook us up. No,
Hey, Aldi, if you're listening, Costco.
I just want to say, ¿cómo no nos equivocamos, eh? Desde el principio, Casco and all the other way. Dude, like,
You see?
No lie, dude.
you
No
see,
lie,
eh?
no.
yeah, yes, but it's like it's crazy how a lot of them are staying quiet, and a lot of them are actually being caught up that they supported Trump or they supported the deportations. You've seen groups like como Grupo Frontera. Um, I've seen what's it called? There's some that I've seen videos for, but I'm not 100% sure, so I will not name them. But I know Grupo Frontera has been kind of hit because there's few artists there's a few members and family and that has spoken about it in podcasts and posts and different stuff saying that they supported Trump. So they're being now they're being called out for it. Pero like all those people that they have the platform to at least communicate, they haven't done it.
Yeah. Sadly, but it happened.
I just want to say, my girl Becky G, she's been on it, dude. She's been on it, dude. Like I was
bad,
like,
dude.
damn. I'm like, ves por eso. Proud of her, dude. Proud of her.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Pero muchachos, 1 hour mark. Do you guys want to keep going with the agenda? We
have
save
one,
it for part 2.
one last item. I
Dale,
think
pues.
it's worth mentioning.
Yeah.
I don't know where this is going to lead to.
Ooh.
And I think this one, I'm going to hand it over to Tank. Porque I had seen it. He put it on the agenda, and it is wild to think about that. Guantanamo Bay. Like Trump just said, let's use Guantanamo Bay, and we're just gonna send all the immigrants there, and then decide what we do with them next, which I think is so fucked up. I mean,
Right. So I think
it,
he's gonna make it
go
into
ahead.
like immigration detention center.
Detention.
Mhm.
And he was saying that he wanted it to be equipped to handle like 30,000 people, I believe it was. When it was crazy because I heard that like, so as you know, Guantanamo Bay was a prison.
Sorry, Tank. Te voy a interrumpir un poquito. Johnny boy, let's see the box. You showed us the can, but let's see the box, dude. Mira?
Damn, that is great.
That's a nice box.
That's nice, huh? So my bad, dude. The fucking brewery is called Fig Mountain Brew.
La
Co.
This whole time, dude, I used the wrong word right now, right?
I know, dude. The beer is called Agua Santa. That was the beer's name.
So the beer's name is Agua Santa.
Yes, and the brewery is called Fig Mountain.
Thick. Dude.
Fig.
Como higo? Like figs?
I guess so.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the presentation, guys. That's the presentation.
Está bonito, dude. I like it.
Yeah, looks
Yeah.
nice, dude.
Flavor
Okay.
without sacrifice. I love that shit. Flavor without sacrifice.
So
I
flavor
like the
without
fact-
sacrifice is their tagline?
I guess so, yeah. 4.8, dude. Everybody wants to know the alcohol percentage, right? Right, dude.
Yeah,
Pero
Follow me
even,
tranquilo, dude.
pero even better, sabor sin sacrificio, dude.
Y-
That's even better. I
Se oye
can't.
bonito, dude.
Yeah, dude. What's that? You guys see it?
Sí.
Mm,
Yeah, dude. You know, look at,
Está muy
look at how
chiquito el
good it's
font.
nice.
I mean, I can't zoom in, but
But look at how good it.
Oh,
Look how,
I
Alright, dude.
can't. Pero sí creo.
I don't know what's so funny, dude. But
Yo tampoco.
anyway.
Oh shit.
So
Interrumpimos a tanque de
Oh, my bad.
Guantanamo Bay.
okay.
right. So it's as we know, that was like a prison that would house I guess terrorists that or people that were condemned as terrorists or deemed as terrorists. Entonces I believe it was only equipped to house 800 prisoners. So I don't know where he's getting that he wants 30,000 people.
No
to
shit.
be-
I did not know that it was the capacity of Guantanamo was 800 and he wants to
Well,
fit 30.
that's what I'll double check.
Mhm.
Pero last time I checked, I remember seeing that it was like 800. Um, but yeah, dude. Which honestly, like, I forgot what's the organization that se dedica to prevent genocide, pretty much, from happening. And I remember when Trump was running for election, and he started bringing all his ideas into, or speaking of all his ideas. I remember since then, um, that organization kind of like was saying that there was flags being raised that this was leading to a genocide.
Mhm.
Yes, and it's crazy, dude. Because I mean, fucking 2025, dude, and it literally seems like that's where it's heading, or
Mhm.
that's where it's heading, and that's like modern day, como te digo, modern day concentration camps, dude. Which
Honestly,
I know
dude.
you added to the agenda about, what was it, Texas, no?
No, the one
Arizona.
that I added,
Arizona.
yeah, was
There you go.
when you mentioned Guantanamo Bay and sending immigrants there. It reminded me of Sheriff Joe Arpaio
Oh, no, fuck that guy,
in
dude.
in Arizona. He
Yeah,
passed
fuck that
away. I
guy.
hope he's paying for all his sins. But
Damn.
Hell yeah, dude. Fuck that guy, dude.
Pero yeah, like he's the one that started the whole Arizona thing. Like he had camps for
Right.
immigrants where they were being held. He had different a different mindset. I remember like even the detainee uniform was a pink uniform to try to humiliate them, and he was like stacking people in bunk beds, like 3 4 people
Right.
per bunk bed.
And it was just
It
tense,
was
no? Tense
just
outside.
yes, it was there was
Yeah.
tense outside no matter what the weather was.
No.
It was pretty like I mean criminals, not criminals, whatever whoever was there, like it was inhumane treatment. Um
Yeah.
and Arpaio was kind of the leading charge behind all of that. So when you put the Guantanamo Bay thing, it's like it reminded me of that Arizona, and I thought it was the mayor of Arizona, but no, it's like he
Oh,
was
sheriff.
sheriff of Maricopa County.
Yeah.
That's as high as he got. From 1993 though, all the way through 2017. So he held that position for 24 years. Um, and you know, whatever you think about George Lopez, but do you guys remember the FTP
Yeah.
Yeah.
special?
That
Like
was it,
fuck
no?
that puto. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was for Trump, but it applies to this guy too. I mean, he like again, like a different type of modern day concentration camp. That's what it felt like. And I just asked the Primo Chat GPT about the capacity of Guantanamo Bay. It held around 780 detainees at its peak.
Right. Pues
Um,
digo, like, I think I saw that it was like
Damn.
equipped for 800.
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
So
It was 30,000 of that bitch?
I will say
I
this.
don't know if he wants to do that over time. That's the only thing that would make sense. But now we're making sense of the stupid shit that he says.
No.
I
Right.
was say I would say one thing. So as you guys were talking about, I looked it up in the Washington Post. So I look at it's being used before. So in 1994, President Bill Clinton he used Guantanamo base for processing Asian refugees and then Cuban asylum seekers, and the population ended up totaling 45,000 people. So I don't know if that's
Damn.
in total,
Totaling, meaning over time,
right, over time. So
over
that is
his 8 years,
or
because he was
more.
elected
Oh,
and
dude,
reelected, right?
Bill?
Clinton did
Oh,
2 terms.
Yeah, Bill
No,
Clinton did 2 terms.
I went to Bogan, dude. I wouldn't be able to tell you.
I
it
don't
was
remember if he did 2 terms.
clean Clinton and then dirty Clinton. Dude.
Ah,
Yeah, I
right,
think the
And they
second
went
term
to
was from
Clinton.
the CUA.
right. So yeah, since 1994, so it's being used before.
Mhm.
And again,
But just
this is 45,000 during the time that it was used. I don't want to say a timeline. During the time that it was used, it was 45,000. That's a rough estimate according to the government report.
That's crazy, dude.
Different
Crazy times, dude.
muchachos.
Yeah, different
Different
times.
times, crazy times. Taking it one day at a time.
I tried, dude. I said that. I remember I said that, but fuck, that's just hard, dude. That's just hard. That's just really
It gets
hard.
harder and harder.
But anyway, guys, 1 hour mark. Now we're in 15. Come on.
Ooh.
I think it's right about the time where
About the time. Right about the time.
that the thirsties need some pick me ups by palabras de tanque, no?
Ooh.
Ooh.
He's not ready.
I am ready, boy.
I knew it, dude.
Oh,
I was just picking at him, dude. Take it away, Stank. What? What I say? He called himself that. I didn't.
he said his other world name was Tank.
My replacement, dude. Not me,
Yeah,
dude.
the replacement. That's right. Va, pues. Pues, do you want to hit him with the music and with the beautiful picture at least at the fucking screen? or-
Vámonos, pues. Es que le estaba buscando, pero ya
Ah.
aquí estamos listos para palabras de tanque, dude.
Vámonos.
Tanque estaba más listo que nosotros.
Facts.
Sí,
About time. God damn, that boy's that kid.
Oh, boy.
All them rings, dude. Green Bay rings. Oh,
Mi vida personal es tan privada que ni mis hijos saben que yo soy su papá.
God damn. That's a fact, dude. That's a subliminal
That's
message.
not a
from you.
fact, dude. That's not a
Subliminal
fact.
fucking message from you, dude.
Señora María, ¿la está escuchando?
I was about to say, your mom's like begging you for grandkids and you're just not recognizing them, dude.
Sí, dude. I don't have.
Tu vida bien
I don't have
privada.
kids.
You said it, dude. I didn't say it.
Eso eran palabras de tanque, no palabras de nosotros.
Pero no son los facts de tanque, dude. Esas
Claro.
palabras, palabrillas ahí que se las lleva el viento, dude.
Palabras de stank, ¿no?
Ronnie Boy, ¿no?
Sí, güey. We couldn't find one for me yet, but yeah.
Va, pues.
Va, pues. That was it, muchachos. Thank you so
Ya
much for
con eso.
everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Episode 158. Rate, review, and subscribe.
Ooh.
All links could be found at todostomanpodcast.com. Dude, fucking 2 years later, dude, I kind of, it's almost there, dude.
I don't know. Last week did not go that well, dude.
That's what I said, almost. Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. I mean, we don't post a lot, but, just give us a follow. Why not,
Hey, en Instagram sí ponemos cosas, muchachos.
Well, we're gonna end up going on. So that's another thing. Who knows if we'll go into different platforms in the future, like Blue Sky, Redno.
RedTube, or ¿cómo se llama la otra?
Oh, I said Redno. You went Red2. Well, that's two
I
different
love
platforms.
it.
Two different platforms. Como Red2 va a ser nada más us doing a podcast pero sin camisa, ¿no?
See that?
Ooh.
Hey,
Showing our-
it wouldn't
showing
be
our
the
feet,
first
¿no?
time I do that.
Damn. Facts,
Damn.
dude. He was a wrestler about a month ago, no? Was it a month ago or less?
See, we paid our bet at 2 Heels in the Face. Pero yeah, we announced that 2 Heels in the Face is 2025 is the last year.
I was gonna say, like, you guys are
Ooh.
doing the farewell tour, dude.
Yeah, estamos haciendo nuestro farewell tour, dude. So be ready, dude. Yeah, we're wrapping
dude.
things up over there on the other side, dude.
Come to Cali, dude. I'll be a special guest, dude. Talk about my memories, dude.
Of Lucha Underground.
Lucha on the ground.
Hey, my
Penta, dude.
memories.
I saw Penta, dude. I saw Penta. I swear to God. I saw him.
La penta de Lucha Underground, dude.
Yeah.
I'll talk about my memories next. Like, no me acuerdo mucho, güey, porque andaba medio pedo, güey.
No, en esos tiempos, dude, no andaba medio pedo, dude. I was watching
It's gonna be another episode
WWE.
like the I'm gonna say the conspiracy theories.
Oh,
I
that's
have
a
this
classic,
one.
dude.
All right,
We gotta get back into that, dude.
but
Well, you guys have to. I'll just listen. ¿no?
Vámonos, muchachos. Yeah.
Va, paz y amor, ¿eh? Gracias. Salud. Sabor sin sacrificio. Miren nada
Sin
más.
sacrificio.
Qué bonito. Miren. Company picnic coming soon, 2025.